Are we live? Are we? Can we be there? All right, good, good. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Randall L. Brownstein or Randall Brownowitz, whichever the case may be. I'm just going to do a little stream. Going to talk about my thoughts about Superman. Used to be called Superman Legacy. Now it's called Superman because the original Superman was just called Superman the movie. So Superman, they just said, we'll just call it Superman. And that'll be enough to differentiate ourselves. So I'm going to be doing a review of Superman. I'm going to be doing a review of the Fantastic Four. And I am also going to be letting you in on a few new magic tricks that I have invented. I'm going to tell you like what they would look like, but not how to do them. Uh, one of these magic tricks, I've got it's a special Power Rangers editions of one of my earlier tricks. So I'm just gonna get into it. Superman, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I pretty much knew I was gonna like it. James Gunn's last four films have been sensational. You got Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3, and then you got The Suicide Squad. I really liked The Suicide Squad. I thought it was awesome. So, yeah. So, going in, I was pretty certain I was going to like the movie, and one of the things that I liked about Superman is like during the fights and stuff, you pretty much get the gist that everybody in Metropolis is like used to the chaos going on because there's like a giant kaiju monster stomping around the city and people are just there like eating ice cream. There's people like just like glancing casually out the window. And then like there's a scene with Lois Lane and Jimmy where the giant kaiju monster is like less than a block away and they're just shooting the shit like, yeah, I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? And it's totally nuts and totally crazy. So let me see here. So yeah, it was totally nuts, totally crazy, and I really like that. Lex Luthor goes hardcore in this, man. He goes hardcore. He straight up murders somebody right in front of Superman. So that's when shit got real. I was like, holy shit, Lex Luthor is blowing people away like with a revolver and stuff. But one of the things I didn't like about that scene is it's kind of like that scene where Seth Green is talking to Doctor Evil, and like you got a gun, let's just kill him right there. He's weakened by kryptonite. You got a gun, just take. He's your worst enemy. Take your gun and blow his brains out. So that was kind of a low point because I mean, like Lex Luthor's whole goal throughout the movie and throughout the entire comic book history is trying to kill Superman. So it was kind of unrealistic that when Lex Luthor had him at his weakest, that he didn't shoot his load and shoot his shot. You know, and that's one of the things I liked about Superman. And let's see what else. Uh, hold on a second. Let me see something here. So yeah, I thought it was kind of weird that Lex Luthor didn't do the do. And somebody said that all those like B9, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9. A lot of people were saying that was moves that Lex Luthor programmed into the Hammer of Baravia. I don't know if that was correct. I thought all the B2, C9, 3, 3, 6. I thought those were like all the viewpoints of the drones that were flying around Superman. I didn't see those as like moves that the Hammer of Baravia was doing. So I just thought he was calling out the names of the drones so he could like, switch to camera, like it's on a switcher or something. So I designed this shirt. I had somebody do the actual you know, I had somebody do the actual artwork, but this is the Heath Ledger Joker on the front. And then on the back, I don't know if you can see it, I've got the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. So basically, what I do is I get people to pick a certain card, and usually I have a button-up shirt over this. So basically, what I do is I go, okay, I'm going to guess your card 3 times, and if I get it wrong, I'll take my shirt off. Just the top layer, the bottom layer costs extra. And I know which card they're going to pick before they do. So sometimes I'll ask, so who's your favorite Joker? And they'll say Heath Ledger. And I was like, now how crazy would it be if Heath Ledger popped out and he had your card on his head? They don't see this because I got my button up on, and they're like, wow, that would be really crazy. So what I basically do is I guess wrong 3 times, and then I unbutton the shirt, and bam, there's their card right there. Now, if you want to learn how to do this, just look up how to force a card, and there's like 202 ways to force a card, so it's very easy. It's very easy. And but yeah, back to Superman. Superman, I thought was good. I thought it was good, but there were a few things I didn't like. Number one, they had Supergirl drunk at the end of the movie, which I didn't think was a good idea at all. I thought that was a pretty bad idea, having Supergirl drunk. I mean, like, the super family is supposed to set an example. There's supposed to be there's supposed to be exemplars. There's supposed to be the cream of the crop of superheroes. And then you got friggin' Supergirl drunk and shit. That's not good. And I didn't like the whole part about the super harem, and that Lex Luthor decoded the message, and the message was all messed up. And that doesn't set a good example. Although, let's see, what's his name? The guy who played Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy was Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper played Jor-El, which was interesting. That was an interesting little a little piece. And they got some super hot woman to play Lara, man. This woman was freaking smoking. So, yeah. So, Superman, all in all, I pretty much knew I was going to like it. I thought some people were underused. I thought Bradley Cooper was underused. Palm Clementif is in the movie, and she plays. I think her robot character was number 12, and she really only has 2 lines in the movie. And Palm Clementif is the one who plays Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy, and in those movies, she has a very hefty, very big role. But like for Superman, she like has only 2 lines, and so that's really underusing her character. Again, I thought some people were underused, but I thought, one of the things that I really liked about the movie is that they explained why Superman isn't recognized when he's wearing his glasses. I thought that was really clever, and I think that's something that they can build upon in later chapters and in later episodes. So I'm only seeing one person out there. If you can drop me a comment, that'd be much appreciated, whoever that one person is. I know some people are watching on their cell phones, and there's more people. So so that's that. Superman, again, I thought it was a really good movie. I thought it was the best Superman movie since Superman 2, because Superman 3, shit. Superman 4, shit. Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, and Justice League wasn't really Superman. It was a dark version of Superman. It was kind of like an Elseworlds version of Superman. I thought it was good for what it was, but it was not Superman. It was like, you know, I kind of feel like they said, like they thought, oh, the Dark Knight worked. Let's make Superman dark just like the Dark Knight, and we'll see if that works. And we got Man of Steel, which was okay. And then we got Batman versus Superman, which was they could have handled it better. Batman versus Superman is kind of what Roger Ebert would call an idiot plot. Like where if one character gave one person a piece of information, like it would have nullified the whole story. Like, for example, in Man of Steel, Superman just could have like stayed about 100 yards away and screamed out, Luther's trying to make me kill you. He's got my mother tied up. Like if he would have just said that, like that whole fight between Batman and Superman would not have happened. So, the setup was really weak for Batman and Superman. And again, like what I'm saying is Superman with David Cornsweet is probably the best Superman we've got since Superman 2. Because I mean, Superman is supposed to be bright and colorful and optimistic. And, Man of Steel was not. Batman versus Superman was not. And, Superman barely played a role in Justice League, if anything. And again, Superman 3 and 4 were both crap. So again, I think the David Cornsweet Superman, probably the best Superman in the past 30 years since Superman 2. I really like Superman 2. I even like that messed up scene where, Superman gets all these weird wonky powers. And I actually spent a good portion of time coming up with like reasons for these wonky powers, like maybe like the statue that Non crashes into was created by like a hologram by the Fortress of Solitude. And then, like maybe, I don't know. Claire Audience says, I've never seen a single Superman movie. Where should I start? Oh, start at the 1977 Superman. Go on to Superman 2, and then go to Superman with David Cornsweet. So that's where you should start. Start at the 1977 one, or it might be 1979. I'm not sure on the dates. Just do Superman the movie, Superman 2, and then Superman with David Cornsweet. So again, the one with Richard Pryor has its moments. Like for example, in Superman 3, there's this, and it's horrific today, even if you see it. There's this AI that takes over this woman's body, and it shoots wires in her face, and turns her into a skeleton and turns her into a robot. It's a really horrific scene, and it still shakes me today. I mean, it's like, oh man, that's violent, and yeah. So Superman 3 had that, and then Superman 4, I gotta say, they had kind of like a love triangle between Lois Lane and trying to think of who played the other woman. I know it was somebody that let's see, who was it? I'll look it up later. Anyways, Superman, I would give it 4.5 stars out of 5. I really liked it. Again, I thought it was a colorful, positive, upbeat, uplifting Superman. And we needed that because after a long time, the hopeful, positive Superman has been gone for quite some time. So now I'm going to switch into the Fantastic Four. And, the Fantastic Four has had a pretty rocky history. There was a movie in the 90s that they were going to make just because the production company was going to lose the rights. So they made it really quickly on the cheap. It was made, I don't know if it was directed, but I know it was produced by Roger Corman. And Roger Corman is one of the most prolific filmmakers of all time. He has like 300 plus movies to his credit, which is just to give you an idea how many movies 300 movies is. If he made 10 movies every 30 years, I mean, if he made 10 movies every year for 30 years, that's the insane output that Roger Corman has. Again, he didn't direct all those; he produced a lot of them, but he has produced an insane amount of films. So there was a Fantastic Four movie, and it eventually got shelved. Nothing ever came of that movie, and you can watch it for free on YouTube. Just type in Roger Corman Fantastic Four. You go there, you should be able to find it in its entirety. I know I've watched it in its entirety on YouTube. And then we have the Tim Story Fantastic Fours. Now, Tim Story Fantastic Four, it's weird. It's weird. There's a lot of weird shit in those movies. And ironically, Chris Evans plays Johnny Storm, who would go on to become Captain America. And then later on in Deadpool versus Wolverine, he would go on to be Johnny Storm again, which is hilarious. And then there was another reference to Fantastic Four in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, and in there somebody else plays Mr. Fantastic. As far as the Fantastic Four 2025 goes, I would give it 2.5 stars out of 5. It's well directed. It's a good looking film. They got the thing right. They got the things look right, and I really enjoy the sound effects. Of him bashing stuff in, and like when he claps his hand, it sounds like rocks clacking together. But I really knew that they weren't going to do this film right. And I knew it right from the first trailer, because the first trailer of the Fantastic Four is about 1 minute and 27, 1 minute and 27 seconds long. And in that trailer, there is about a 19-second scene of the Thing cooking, which would be good if this were a movie about the Thing hosting a cooking show. But this is not a movie about the Thing hosting a cooking show. This is a movie about the Fantastic Four fighting Galactus. Galactus, you see a shadow in one shot, and that's all you see of him in one shot. And then there was another shot in the trailer where it was some old dude, and we never see this old dude in the movie. I'm like, okay, you spent like 19 seconds. Like, let's round that up 1 second, and let's say that's 20 seconds of a cooking scene in a 1 minute 27 1 minute 27-minute trailer. That's like almost a fourth of the entire trailer spent on cooking. And like I just knew right then, from then on there out, that this was not going to be a well-written movie, that it was not going to be handled well. And again, you got the woke bullshit with the female Silver Surfer. I mean, why do we need to swap genders? Why do we need to swap races? Why do we need to do any of this shit? Is it really necessary? Is it? So I didn't need any of that woke shit. Keep the woke shit out of my movies, Marvel. So that's my thoughts on that. And so I'm gonna go over the plot of the movie. It's not gonna be really heavy spoilers, but it is gonna be a light spoilers. So basically, Galactus is coming to Earth. He's gonna munch on it and eat the Earth up. And so Mr. Fantastic has about a month to think of a way to stop Galactus. All right. Now, if you know anything about Mr. Fantastic in the Marvel Universe, Mr. Fantastic is supposed to be the smartest person on the planet. All right. And again, he has a whole month before Galactus shows up to save the world. All right. He has about a month. And it cuts to almost a month later, and Sue's like, so what do you have? And he goes, I only have one idea. I'm like, you're the smartest person on the planet, and you can think of only one idea to stop Galactus? And I've actually prepared a list. And a lot of these items I came up with right after viewing the movie on like the 26th of July. So here are my ways. More and okay, so it came out July 25th. I saw it on the 26th, and now it's been almost a month. Okay, I have a little bit more than one idea on how to stop Galactus, and I'm not a fucking super genius with like a 420 IQ. Okay, so here we go. Here are some of the possible ways that you could have stopped Galactus somehow, some way. You, one, could have created a disintegration ray. Two, you could have found a way to supercharge your powers, you know? Three, you could have sent drones to attack Galactus from the inside. Four, you could have nuked him. Five, find a way to create more super beings or contact super beings that can help you. Six, create a time machine. Seven, send the baby into a different region of space to distract Galactus, because Galactus's main thing is he wants Mr. Fantastic's baby because he's like the next Herald of Galactus or something like that. 7, blind Galactus. Yeah, just blind him. Shoot some lasers in his eyes and blind him. Use a laser to push Galactus into the sun. Uh, uh, Next up, get a laser to slice his head off, decapitate Galactus. Next, holdo maneuver a spaceship into his heart or into his head. And then next up and last, trapped Galactus in a force field, because you got a woman who can make force fields already. You can, study her powers and examine them. And those are several ways that you could kill or stop Galactus. And keep in mind, Mr. Fantastic, smartest person in the world, only thought of one idea. Like, come on. If you're the smartest person on the planet, you could probably come up with more than one idea. I mean, I'm sure maybe if you had a brainstorming sesh with some people, you could probably come up with a little bit more than one way to kill Galactus. It's stupid. It's stupid, and it's just dumb writing. And and I just thought it was a dumb movie, and it takes place in the 60s on Earth 818, which is Jack Kirby's birthday. I guess he was born in August. No, wait. Yeah, I guess he was born on August 18th or something. But yeah, it was just a dumb, stupid movie. I mean, it was shot really well. It was lit really well. The effects, except for the Silver Surfer, the effects were decent and passable. And I heard different cuts of the movie were being passed around town, because now this isn't spoilers because it didn't come true, but I heard that Sue Storm talks to the Silver Surfer and gets the Silver Surfer to turn on Galactus, and that didn't happen in the film. So that was untrue, or maybe that was in a cut that didn't make it. And then I also heard that they reshot the movie really quickly after the ending didn't test well with audiences. But it makes the ending of Thunderbolts really weird, because in the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four ship is coming into their universe. So I'm like, that didn't happen in the Fantastic Four movies, so I don't know what's going on here. So I'm seeing like a lot of stuff is being cut and jumbled around and put from here to there. Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit going on in the Marvel universe. And I have a lot of thoughts on what's going to go on in the Marvel universe, because Avengers Doomsday is approaching quickly. It's going to be out in, I think, December 2026. So it's just shy of a year and 4 months away, man. So they better get it together. And they're doing the new Avengers, and I mean, I really don't like any of the new Avengers. I mean, I like Florence Pugh. I think she's charismatic. I think she could, maybe hold a movie. I mean, she would be a good leader, I think. I actually felt bad for Florence Pugh in Thunderbolts. I kind of like wanted to be her boyfriend, just to cheer her up and, you know, put a smile on her face, because she was so depressed in that movie, and everybody was so. It was a depressing movie, Thunderbolts, and not much happened in Thunderbolts. A lot of the ending of that movie got retconned, and there was almost no. It was just a shitty movie, I gotta say. I was not impressed with it at all. And they had Taskmaster in there for like 30 seconds, kill her right away, and I'm like, okay, why did you even have her in there? Number one, I was pretty sure she died in Black Widow. Um, I didn't know why you would bring her back just to kill her off in the first 10 seconds. That was a pretty dumb and weird choice. Dumb and weird. So again, if you're the smartest person on the planet and you've got a month to brainstorm ideas, I'm pretty sure that a smart person could come up with more than one idea, you know? I'm not that smart, and freaking I came up with like 10 ideas, you know? I mean, and again, Mr. Fantastic is billed as the smartest man in the Marvel universe and the smartest man in the world. I'm assuming all the technical advancements in this alternate reality are because of him, you know? Like, screw Neil Armstrong, like Mr. Fantastic and the Fantastic Four are the first ones to go to space. Yeah, so there you go. So those are my thoughts on Superman. Again, Superman I thought was great, fantastic movie. I hope James Gunn makes another one. Um James Gunn did a top-notch job on that. I was pretty sure he was going to knock it out of the park from the beginning, because again, his last four movies before that were awesome. Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3, awesome. The Suicide Squad, awesome. Not Suicide Squad, The Suicide Squad. And he directed a few episodes of Peacemaker, and is the showrunner on Peacemaker. And I'm pretty hyped to see what he does with season 2 of that show. Season 1 was pretty freaking awesome. You know, I mean, it had a cameo from the Justice League, even though it was like, they were all in shadow and it was from a long ways away. And Peacemaker actually did have a cameo man in Superman. So that was cool. And there were actually a lot of unexpected cameos. And, I liked that they put Metamorpho in there. Metamorpho was comics accurate. I mean, he looked exactly like he looks in the comic book. And Guy Gardner was in there. I thought they did a sensational job with Guy Gardner. Nathan Fillion did an awesome job. They got Mr. Terrific in there. I really didn't know much about Mr. Terrific other than he's a super genius, and that little Fair Play logo on his jacket is his code of ethics. He believes in fair play, he believes in justice for everybody, not just a certain group, or not justice just for the heroes, but justice for everybody. And then Hawk Girl was kind of underused, although they crammed a shitload of characters into this movie. I'm surprised anybody got time for anything, because Miss Tessmacher was in there, Otis was in there, Guy Gardner was in there, Metamorpho was in there, Ultraman was in there. I mean, just shitloads of people out the yin yang. I mean, this movie was stuffed. And again, one of the things that I liked about the movie is, people seem to just, they seem to just take shit happening in Metropolis for granted. Some people are like sipping coffee while a giant kaiju monster is destroying the city right outside their window. They're like, yeah, just another day in Metropolis, so, So yeah, I really like Superman. I think I pretty much knew from the beginning that I was going to like the James Gunn Superman. And the Fantastic Four, again, 19 seconds of cooking in a 1 minute, 27-second trailer. That is atrocious. And I knew they weren't going to handle it well. They haven't been handling it well for a long time. So, yeah. So, if you got any comments, El Dropo Themo in the chatto, mi amigo. And, otherwise I'm going to bail. I will bail Organa out of here. Actually, you know what? I invented some magic tricks. I'm not going to show them to you, but I will describe them to you because I created a lot of magic tricks. So one of the magic tricks is where I, get a person to pick a card, and then they tell me whether it's red or black, and then they tell me whether it's a face card or a number card, and I will be able to exactly tell their card. I'm not going to tell you how the trick works, but I will tell you it's one of 6 cards that they could pick. So they tell me the color, and then they tell me if it's a number or a face card, and then I instantly know their card. So that's I call that the King's Court trick. So, and then I got my mom on this one. So I have a list of names. One of them's Amy Jo Johnson. One of them's Stanley Tucci. One of them's Quincy Jones. One of them is Omar Epps, and one of them is Kevin James. Now I have a person pick 2 cards, and I say, okay, now picture the card in your mind. Now look at the first initial of the card. So, like if it's an 8, it's an E. If it's a Jack, it's a J. So think of the first initials of the 2 cards that you picked, and then look at this list and tell me if anybody has that initial. And they look at the list, and I can automatically tell who they are looking at, who they are thinking of, So that's that. And then I've got a new trick called Stopwatch. What up, Walter White? Yeah, good to see you here, man. So I've got another trick called Stopwatch. And the way this works is that I've got a watch, and it's got a stopwatch on it. So what I do is I click the button, and I wait till it gets to like 10:37. I stop it on 10:37, and then when I'm doing the trick around 10:30 to like 11, I get the person. I deal them out a 10, a 3, and a 7. They look at it, and they don't know. I force the card on them. And then what a force is where you get a person to pick a card without them knowing it, but it's the card you want them to pick. So I get them to pick a 10, a 3, a 7, and I have them lay down the cards. So I go, we got a 10, we got a 3, and we got a 7. Do you know what's interesting about that? And they're like, what? And then I show them the stopwatch on my watch, and it stopped at 10, 3, and 7. And I go, oh, that's exactly the time I have on my watch. And they're like, holy shit, I've done this trick at karaoke, and it kills, people freaking love it and they drop their jaws. So, and I've also got another trick now where because sometimes when I'm at karaoke, I'm at a table outside where you can easily see my car. So what I've done is I've taken a giant jumbo size 5 of hearts and I put it on my dashboard. So while I'm at the table and doing tricks for people, if somebody pulls out a 5 of hearts, I have them replace it back in the deck, and I go, "You putting in there, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "You sure it's in there?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm sure I put it in there." And then I'm like, "Do me a favor, go ahead and look at that blue car over there. Do you see anything interesting in the dashboard?" And they're like, "What the fuck? Oh my god!" And it shocks the shit out of people. And I also have a similar trick like that where I take a piece of scotch tape and I make a little O with it and I stick a duplicate card on my rear view mirror or on my side view mirror. So I go, "Do me a favor, you see that car over there? Go over to the driver's side and take a look in the rear view mirror and see if something's there." And they go and it's their fucking card and they lose their shit. I mean, these people are screaming, they're laughing their asses off. It's fun. So and then we've got a thing called the Joker's die. And the way this works out is I've got a grid of 2x4 picture of Jokers. And one is Cesar Romero, one is Jared Leto, one is Joaquin Phoenix, one is Heath Ledger, one is Barry Keoghan, one is Jack Nicholson, one is Mark Hamill, one is Cameron Monaghan. So the two top Jokers that get picked all the time are Heath Ledger and I got Joaquin Phoenix on the back. Now, if they choose Mark Hamill or Jack Nicholson, I take out this grid of names and I have them roll the dice, and they'll either come up on a 6. If they come up on the 6, I basically, well, I don't have the picture here with me, but I count it out, and the 6th person on the grid is Jack Nicholson, if they say Jack Nicholson. And then if they say Mark Hamill, I have them add the top and the bottom of the die together, and the 7th person on this grid is Mark Hamill. So no matter what they say, if they say, Heath Ledger, I got Heath Ledger right there. If they say Joaquin Phoenix, I got Joaquin Phoenix on the back. They say Jack Nicholson, I make them roll the dice, and they say, and there's lots of ways, like if they roll a 3, again, on a normal 6-sided die, the top and the bottom are both, 7. What's up? Yo, Fears Blogs. How's it going? So yeah. And then let's see what else I have here. The Joker folder. Now, I've actually got pretty good. All right. Yeah, so I've got the Joker folder. I have several pictures of different Jokers. I've got the Mark Hamill Joker, I've got the Jack Nicholson Joker, and I have the Cesar Romero Joker. So I've got these hidden in my folder. So, and there's ways that I can jump right to the people in that I want. So I've got the Mark Hamill Joker on the bottom. So if somebody asks me, "Oh, I like the Mark Hamill Joker," I flip it up, I flip it over, and then I reverse it, and then I open it, and there's the Mark Hamill Joker. Now, if they say they like the Cesar Romero Joker, I have them roll the dice. If it's 6, I go to the 6th page and show them the 9 of diamonds, which was their card, and then I go to the next page, which has Cesar Romero Joker saying the 9 of diamonds in a speech bubble. And then if they say Jack Nicholson, I go midway through the folder and flip it over, and there's the Jack Nicholson Joker. So that's another magic invention I have. And let's see. I have a magic trick called the Power Problem, and the Power Problem is basically a Power Rangers version of my celebrity trick. So basically, what I do is I have a person pick either Kim or let's see, uh, Kim or Jason. So Kim for Kimberly Hart and Jason for Jason David Frank or Jason the Power Ranger. So it's Kim or Jason. So if they pick Kim, my second question is Billy or Trini. And I have four. The way this starts out is I ask them to pick a card, then I put it under the table, do some things with it, and then I make four piles, and I go Kim or Jason. Now, if they say Kim, the next question is Billy or Trini. Both have five letters. And then for the final part of this, I go Zach or Lord Zed. And Lord Zed is Lord Zedd. And no matter what they pick, if they pick Billy or Trini or Lord Zed or Zach, it all arrives on the final card. And then I flip it over and there it is. And then if they pick Jason, I go, okay, Alpha 5 or Zordon. And they say Alpha 5 or Zordon, and I count out the cards. And then I go, okay, final bit, Tommy or Rocky. And whatever they pick, it lands on the same card. So that is a Power Rangers version of my celebrity trick. Usually the celebrity trick goes like this. I ask them to pick either Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt, and then if they pick Tom Cruise, I ask them Jennifer Aniston or Angelina Jolie, and if they pick either Jennifer Aniston or Angelina Jolie, I say Elvis or James Brown. And no matter what, they always land on the fourth card. And then I turn over the fourth card and it's not their card. And then I turn over all the other cards and it's not their card. I go, wait a minute, let me see here. Okay. First step, be awesome. I'm being as awesome as possible. Step 2, introduce myself. My name's Randy. You're blah, 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 blah. And step 3, oh yes, step 3 was open other end. And I take the fourth pile and I turn it all the way over, and there's their card on the bottom. So, yeah. And then number 10 is what I call DVD secrets. And I have a special way of gimmicking for DVDs. And don't tell anybody, but one of the DVDs has a folded up card behind the DVD in the DVD case. And then the other Force card is behind the DVD case, stuck on the inside of the flap. So it's hidden out of view. So I can get two tricks out of that, each one. And then let's see. And then number 11 is called Bottle Cap. And this bar that I go to, there's a lot of bottle caps that people leave on the tables and people leave on the ground. It's a very they can't get to all the bottle caps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Sharpie and I'm going to take one of these bottle caps and I'm going to pencil in the 4 clubs on one of these bottle caps, put it back down on the ground, and then do the trick and force the card on them. And then I go, do me a favor, you see that bottle cap right there? Can you take a look at that? And they go, yeah, why? Just pick it up and check it out. And they take the bottle cap, and there's the 4 clubs, which was their card on the bottle cap. And then the 5 or 7 Force is something I want to keep secret. Card and wallet. The card and wallet trick is I've got a special way to do it my way. But basically, the card and wallet is you make a person pick the card, and then you have them put it back in the deck, and then you open up your wallet, and it's right there. I've got a clever way of doing it with the type of wallet I have. I'm not going to show you it because it's got all my information in there. Next up is a black light prediction, and the black light prediction, I'm going to be getting I'm going to order an invisible ink pen, and before I go out, I'm actually going to write on my hand in invisible ink the card that I want them to pick. And I've actually got a mini flashlight that has a black light on it, so I can click that on and be like, "Hey, was that your card?" And their card, because invisible ink shows up under a black light. A lot of people don't know that. So I'm gonna get invisible ink, and I'm going to black light that into my hand there. So yeah. Number 15 is an answering machine prediction. I'm going to before I go out, I'm going to change the answering machine message to "Hi, please leave a message. Otherwise, we will not return your call." And oh yeah, I forgot to say your card was the 5 of clubs. And then, I could get a person to pick the card, and then I could have them call my number. And then not only would I get a cool, freaky prediction out of it, but I would secretly get their number without them knowing it. And then next up is the 9 explosion. Now this comes from a tricky trick that not many people know. A lot of people don't know that any number above any number above 9 adds down to 9. I'll give you an example. So 20, 2 plus 0 is nothing. I mean, 2 plus 0 is 2. So if you take 2 away from 21, hold on, wait a second. Hold on a second here. So any number above 20 adds down to 20. So 20 2 plus 0 is 2. So take 2 away from 20, that turns into 18. 1 plus 8, that's 9, and like 33, 3 plus 3 is 6, and take 6 away from 33 and you get 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. 21, 2 plus 1 is 3. Take 3 away from 21, guess what? You get 18 again. 1 plus 8, it's 9. So every number above 9 adds down to 9. I'll give you another one. 912. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 2 is 12. Take 12 away from 912, you get 900. 9 plus 0 is 9. 9 plus the next 0 is still 9. So every number above 9 adds down to 9. So the way I would do this is I would ask a person to pick a card that's a number card. And if you get a face card, just set it down. So pick, you can either pick you can either pick 2 or 3 numbers. Pick 3 number cards, and I will get to 9 just by adding or subtracting. And I call that the 9 explosion. So that's a way to use cards and freak people out. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So there you go. So I basically covered everything I want to cover. I'm going to be trying to do a lot of retrospectives. I might be doing a writing school for idiots. The idiots being the people writing Star Wars and Marvel. These shows lately have been absolutely abysmal. I mean, I watched several episodes of The Acolyte, and they had scenes that were like low key and just quiet. And then the credits come up, and I'm like, that was the show. That is what you end on. Like, I mean, the ending of season 1, the ending of episode 1 of The Acolyte is literally the bad guy is lighting up his lightsaber and nobody's there. The guy's lighting up his lightsaber for nothing. Nobody cares about what's going on. And then I watched episode 1 of Andor, and let me tell you, I could watch that show and or do something else, preferably doing something else. Episode 1 was very disappointing. Very disappointing. And one of my friends told me, "Oh, Andor is good. It's a good show." I was like, "Okay, the first episode was shit, but I'll take your word for it. I'll watch more episodes of the show, but episode 1 of Andor was shit." Because here's the thing. Here's the thing about Andor. Okay, I'm gonna on a list 5 scenarios, and you tell me in which order those scenarios are supposed to go in. A fist fight, a car chase, an argument, and a nuclear explosion. Yo, what up, Lantern? So, a fist fight, a car chase, a nuclear explosion, and an argument. Now, if you know your shit, you'd know that in a properly constructed story, these would have a certain order. Howdy, Lantern, what's going on? So, in a properly well-written show, it would be the argument, the fist fight, the car chase, and the nuclear explosion. And why would we have it be that way? Well, number one, in an argument, nobody's life is at stake. It's just an argument. In a fist fight, 2 people's life are at stake. In a car chase, many people's lives are at stake. And in a nuclear explosion, everybody's life is at stake. When you write a show, you want to have escalating conflict. Each conflict should be bigger than the last one. All right. If the conflict doesn't escalate, it's a shitty show. And Andor, what happens in the first episode of the show? Andor's looking for his sister. He kills 2 people, and then he talks to a bunch of people. And it's like, this is like the conflict and the stakes. It's just like one little blip out of an entire show. And again, in a properly written show, the stakes should be like this. It should be like that. It should gradually escalate. It shouldn't be the same shit over and over and over again. I did not like the first episode of Andor. Now, a lot of people tell me later on it gets better. Some people say later on it gets lots better. But just judging from that one show, those people don't know how to write. Now, it's an awesomely directed show. The acting is awesome. The set design is awesome. The costume is awesome. The special effects are on point. I mean, it's a good looking show and it's well acted. But again, barely anything happens in that first episode. 2 people die. And that's the entire episode. And it happens in the middle of the episode. Now, if you're writing a show, you want to end on a big set piece. You want to end with some big, like major, colossal action, or you at least want to end with a showdown with like the good guy fighting the bad guy. That's one of the things that made She-Hulk such a shitty show. The first episode of the show, at the end, bad guy comes out of nowhere. Never been set up. First appearance is like a minute before the show ends, and She-Hulk punches out the girl, and it's, like it came out of nowhere. But anyway, Andor, judging just by the first episode, not a good show. I don't have a lot of hope for it. And again, I think they're up to season 3 right now, and I will give it a few pity watches, like I'll watch the next like 3 or 4 episodes, but those shows for the most part, I mean, the show that I saw for the most part was shit. Not much happened. There wasn't a lot of character development. There were a few flashbacks, but for the most part, not a good show. And I think I have to start schooling these Marvel writers, and I think I have to start schooling these. I think I have to start schooling these Marvel writers, and I think I have to start schooling these Hold on a second. Wait a minute. About to run out of power here. Don't want to do that. All right. Are you there? All right. There we go. Mr. Lannon says Thrilling 3 first. Yes. See, a lot of people don't know that the Thrilling 3 theme is. A lot of people think the John Fears theme is the John Fears theme. No. The theme that is playing is the Thrilling 3 theme, which I created myself on FL Studio. Dance, Randy, dance. Yeah. Dancing. So, yeah, I'm going to be brainstorming some more. I'm gonna be brainstorming some more magic tricks. I mean, like all those new tricks right there, I came up with like 3 or 4 days ago. So I'm gonna put my nose to the grindstone, and I'm gonna try to come up with 15 more tricks. And I'll let you know how it goes. And karaoke has been pretty sweet lately, and I should give you an update on some of my books. I've got 2 books in the works. One is called The Magic of Problem Solving that I'm writing with a friend of mine. And then my next book that should be out, the very next one, is called The Secrets of Lucky People. And it tells you 23 different ways to increase your luck. And I define luck as like good luck and success. I define it as success or good fortune. And Randall, creator theme that I appreciate Randy letting me use it. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, it's going to be called The Secrets of Lucky People, and I'm going to be putting out pretty soon, probably within the year. And actually, I've actually already got some people interested in the book. I had a lady give me $25 already for an advanced copy of the book. And I mean, I know Fierce doesn't believe in hypnosis, but the fact of the matter there was a doctor in my writers group who doesn't believe in hypnosis either. But I think the fact is that people go into surgery using hypnosis alone, and get their organs ripped out and sewn up and taken apart and put back together. And people have done this using hypnosis alone. So I don't think these people could be faking it. I don't know how you could fake having your organs ripped out and not feeling any pain. So I think pretty much hypnosis, it is a thing. It's not fake. It's not surreal. It's not make believe. I mean, like, and I talked to the one doctor in the group, and he said, Randy, hypnosis isn't real. I've debunked it. I debunked it at police stations, and it doesn't work. And I'm like, dude, I had a toothache in my tooth for a long time. I went on YouTube and I listened to this like toothache pain cure, and it cured my pain. And the pain has not come back. So, and you know what he said to me? He said, well, guess what, Randy? And I was like, what, Tom? And he goes, you're lucky. And I was like, yeah, there you go. You got it. You got it. So there's 23 ways how to increase your luck and how to improve your chances of good fortune. So that's going to be coming out soon. So $1 million super chat. I wish it were true. I wish it were true. That'd be good. But yeah. So thank everybody who came on for coming on. Thanks you to Fears Vlogs. Thank you to Claire Audience. Thank you to Walter White. Thank you to Mr. Lantern. I think that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to go for about 40 more seconds. And then if you have any comments, drop them in the chat real quick and I'll get to them. Otherwise, I'm going to bid thee a fond farewell. So yeah, the book on luck has 3 sections. It has the first 11 tips, and then you got the next 12 tips, and then it's a 21-day action guide. And the 21-day action guide will it'll handhold you through the luck process, and it'll give you sheets for 21 days because everybody says it takes 21 days to make a habit, and that'll take you through it. So my name is Randy Brown. I do the card tricks, but you all bring the magic. Shout out to Chicken Wizard, and I will see you all Latre. The Randingo in the house. See y'all later.